I definitely enjoyed season one. I think everybody did, which is why it was so quickly asked to return for season two and now season three. Um, Reacher is based on a great series of books by Lee Child, and the show, I believe, having not read all the books, does such a tremendous job of following the storylines that can be found in the Reacher series.
Yeah, and how did this opportunity arrive at your doorstep, Milton? Was it the traditional talent process, sort of your talent agent said, we have a character in mind, we want you to send in a tape. You send it in, not knowing,
Yes.
hoping to hear back, and thinking weeks pass by and nothing happens, and all of a sudden it's, oh my God, I need to get on a plane somewhere, ASAP, go, go, go.
Yes. You sound like an actor. That's exactly kind of how it went down. I have an agent. I'm represented by a fantastic agency out of Toronto, and the audition came through to me. I think I had about maybe 2 days to prepare the dialogue, the scenes that they wanted. And then it was hurry up and wait, which was a few weeks before I found out that I got the role of Sklar. And of course, I was hugely excited. Being a fan of Reacher, just being involved in it in any way was a thrill. So super exciting. And yeah, it followed the normal path: audition, wait, book the job. Super excited. Some small celebrations, and then you get to work. So that's how it went down.
And tell us a bit about the character Schler. How would you start to summarize him up in terms of an individual? Is there more to meet the eye, or what did you see when you saw the script and the lines? How did you picture and imagine him in your own mind?
Well, he's a man of few words. He's an enforcer. He's quiet, nowhere near as big as Reacher, but definitely walks with a big stick. He is one of the henchmen that is employed by Zachary Bennett, and he's a scrapper. He's got some power, but definitely has some people who are above him. But he has a crew of guys that he manages and oversees. But he definitely answers to the big dogs. But he's a tough guy, and I feel like all the characters in Reacher that that surround Zachary Bennett's character in that world, they're all tough guys. They're all street toughs. They can all throw down if needs be. Um, they're all comfortable, using a weapon to enforce their role. So that's how Sklar is. And so when I read the script, I was like, yeah, I can do this. And, a lot of actors always want to play, you want an actioner, you want to play a character who's unafraid. You want to do some fight sequences and some stunt work. And when I read the role for Sklar, I was delighted to find out that I could do all of those things over the two episodes. So a real thrill to play.
Yeah, and I suppose with the storyline of Reacher, we're not going to give too much away in terms of the arc. I know very much about Schlar, but in terms of we see that maybe allegiances, dare I say, and Schlar is misinterpreted by certain prominent characters in terms of he's sort of intentions, and dare I say he's used for a weapon of justice, dare I say, going forward, even though that mightn't have been his own intentions.
That's right. You summed it up perfectly, for sure. Yeah. He is Sklar is one of the people that has the misfortune of running into Reacher. And that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
For those folks who haven't watched the series yet, if you run afoul of Reacher on the show, you've got some problems. And I think there's definitely a few baddies in this show that run across Reacher and get on his bad side.
And tell me, Alan Richardson, from what I hear, he wouldn't go amiss in the WWE or UFC
Yeah,
fighting. He's definitely has the stature. He looks like a massive presence on our TV screens. But
yeah.
standing toe to toe with him, face to face from him in a room, is he even more daunting? Is he even more intimidating than what he looks on our TV screens?
He's such a great guy. And he is massive and looks every inch the part. But when you have an opportunity to chat with him, he's such a nice guy. He's a family man. He's an actor. He's a strong actor, very strong actor, and an amazing fight and stunt guy. He's been doing this for so many years, so he knows the landscape so well. I've had the privilege of doing some fight and stunt work over my career. Um, but never against somebody who is as formidable as Alan. But he's such a terrific guy, and we had such a great time rehearsing the stunts. And that was a several session process because the fights particularly are like a dance, and he knows them, in and out. But he's also surrounded by such a fantastic stunt and fight team, and working with them over the days just to learn the choreography of the fight was brilliant. Um, but he's such a pro, and he knows it so well, and he's so great to act opposite, and very, very generous with not only his time but also his knowledge too about fights, how it's supposed to look, how he wants it to look. Because Alan is also one of the executive producers of Reacher this season, so he's definitely got a lot going on. But he knows that stunt fight world very, very well, and he's such a pro and a great dude.
I'm sort of curious, Milton, because I've asked many actors before about seeing themselves back on screen and watching them how themselves work. So obviously, all the time you're probably talking to voice actors in terms of how they sort of play the lines, how they sort of said their lines. But I'm sort of curious, how does an actor look so that doubles up in terms of performing their stunts in terms of choreography? Do they actually, you yourself, do you like to review and look back at particular fight scenes that you were part of in terms of that, and maybe sort of seeing how they looked, how you looked, and or are you just very much the part? Are you more interested in seeing how you actually said a role or lines or communication, or as an actor, do you like to look at one sector of your acting, or is it multitasked?
I'm one of those actors who hates to look at themselves at all. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm the worst. I rarely look back on stuff that I've done. If I stumble across it, maybe I'll, through, veiled fingers, I'll take a look at myself. But for the most part, I can't stand looking at past performances. I'm very much in the moment kind of guy. I love the work. I love doing it on the day. Um, but as far as reviewing it, I kind of wait and hear from my contemporaries or my friends who will watch the stuff and tell me if I've done a good job or not, and I take their word for it. But for the most part, I tend to not go over past roles. I just I'm kind of like, once it's done for me, and I like to move on and get ready for the next challenge. I have had the privilege of doing a bunch of fight and stunt work, both in film and television before, and I have caught myself looking over at those scenes every once in a while just to see how they turned out, because the how they look on the final edit is kind of different than the process of making it, which can oftentimes be a bit stop and go, and can oftentimes be a little bit more technical than how fluid it looks in the final product. So I have done that before, taking a look at some past fight scenes and enjoyed those. And also because I wanted to honor the work of the amazing stunt crews that I've worked with over the years. This is so great. And I know how I looked at the start of rehearsing a stunt, and oftentimes it's fun to look and see how you ended up, after working it with your stunt team. So I'll peek at that. But for the most part, if it's straight up acting, I tend to not look at